60 to 70 years. The average tenure in a job is 4.5 years. And what's probably most scaring, if I can say it that way, the half-life of a learned skill is 5 years. What that means, that we have to stay smart, lifelong learning. There are YouTube tutorials out there, the Khan Academy, Udacity, Udemy, Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, etc., etc. Last year, because I'm able to work over the internet, I've visited 17 countries. I can work and travel. And digital nomads are here to stay. 69% are male, 31% are female, 54% are 30 years or older. So it's also what Janne mentioned, it's a life choice. Between 1 and 1.8 million foreigners working actively in Poland. So there are discrepancies in data, definitely. Foreigners have founded in the last years 90,000 companies. They say 64% it's low income as compared to the country of origin. 45% complain about bureaucracy. Aside from startups, we have also 1,078, I'll repeat that, 1,078 shared service centers. So, does supply meet demands? When we look at the numbers, I'd say not really. There is a mismatch, or they can't really find each other. One thing is definitely higher competencies, not CVs, and that is a global trend. What does that mean? Instead of recruiting based on a resume that will tell us, oh, that's a jumper, or but I don't need somebody from Sweden, or they don't have the 7 years from within one company, etc. Companies go in the direction of saying, we'll have recruitment games, we have artificial intelligence, pre-recorded interviews. That's a big thing now.
50, 60 or 70. So there's
I agree.
Yeah,
that's why you definitely have to choose which are the best tools to assess a certain group and certain competencies. We, for example, do personality tests, and we actually disregard the digital native aspect. We actually recruit, when we look at students, we recruit for attitude and brain potential. And that's enough. Look beyond the jumpers. We get to look beyond the biases that we have. We get to look beyond age, origin, gender. One area where this has worked very well, orchestras in the United States have started blind auditions. Where they introduce blind auditions, the diversity of the orchestras increased, and they have started having 30% more female in Poland, in Austria, Switzerland, Sweden. So one person can have different added value. When I lived in Ecuador, it was great that I spoke English. In Austria, it's kind of obvious, so that wasn't an added value.
Which is the non-verbal communication boundary and the linguistic boundary. What could you add to that?
Well, I think I start with the word flexibility, which we've discussed broadly today. It really is about not narrowing yourself down into one particular vision of yourself. And this is what my company is also working on while putting people together into a project. The broader the perspective of a person, and forget the CV seriously, the better for the project to expand.
Networking. We resettled here back in Poland 17 years ago, and I just realized I kind of was in the position that you were in. I was at that time a stay-at-home mom. That was my decision. And once the kids were in school, I thought, okay, what's next? It was because I knew friends. I had Polish friends who had another Polish friend. We talked. She offered me a job. How much Polish did I speak at that time? About this much, because I was really good. I was doing my homework and I had Polish lessons. Because I had the attitude, Polish is difficult, but it's not impossible.
Male or female with, let's say, 10 years of professional experience, and you want to make yourself relevant, for example, to, let's say, to your company, thank you, to your company, how how would you go about it as a career angel? What would be the first 3 things a person should do? Sorry to do this to you now. You're such a brilliant presenter that I figured you'd have it at the top of your fingers. So 3 things.
So
I'd say imagine that you're
I'm either
35
female or male,
Yeah, so
between
it's-
30 and 50.
Yes, and you have a lot of experience, and you know that, you know,
I'm going to
there's,
work for her.
that there's a big, you know, community of startups, and you don't have the language.
And talking and finding out, okay, they're expanding, they already have somebody in San Francisco and in Ireland and in Poznan. Like, maybe they need somebody in Austria, or maybe I can help them find clients in XYZ. So it's really about understanding what can I offer that is valuable and who can that be valuable to. One other way to look at it is to say, what do I know, what can I do that somebody wants to pay for? And then take it from there and put that on paper as a marketing.
And a vast network of people in an industry sector like media, for example, but it could be anything, it could be education. And I came to you and I said, hey, Agnieszka, would you like to leverage my network in the UK or in the US? Would that be something that could be of value to you?
Of course, as I said during presentation, we are currently already employing people globally, and we are trying to explore as many international markets as is possible. And also, we are the organization that tries to work in a very modern way. And there is no problem with remote. We communicate in English.
The ability would be to say, okay, I can bring you clients or enable network. Let's do the first 3 on a commission basis. Because at the end of the day, it's about proving and showing evidence.